human beings. If you're like me, even though you practice public speaking, there's times in your life where you encounter these awkward situations and you find yourself tongue-tied and you don't know what to say. Maybe you have a friend who just died, or that would be really uncomfortable. Maybe you had a friend whose loved one just died and you're not sure how to console them. Maybe you're stuck in a line with someone that you don't really know and you need to make small talk. Even something as simple as receiving a heartfelt compliment can leave you speechless and awkward, and then it starts becoming uncomfortable for you because now you're paying attention to the fact that you're embarrassed and awkward. And that self-consciousness doesn't help because now your self-consciousness is just kind of making your tongue tied even more. We'll take a deep breath. I'm going to show you how you can help yourself when you're tongue-tied by opening up your ears. You've written down that great speech. You've edited it. You've spent a long time on it. You've practiced it in the mirror. It's time to give this speech at the Toastmasters. You give this speech, people love it. It's a wild success. After the meeting, people want to come up to you and congratulate you on what a great speech you gave. You feel uncomfortable. There's a reason for that awkwardness. We're not used to necessarily being at the center of social attention. It can be social overstimulation. If you feel self-doubts, you might even question whether they're authentic or not, whether they mean it or not. You may feel that praise of any sort really is just more pressure on you next time to do an even better job. Take a deep breath, and first of all, acknowledge that uncomfortable feeling that you have. It's okay. A long time ago, I realized there's no embarrassment in feeling embarrassed. And as soon as I realized that, feeling embarrassed didn't become a problem anymore like it had in the past. I would try and avoid situations where I would be embarrassed because I was embarrassed about being embarrassed. Once I recognized that it was just an emotion, that everyone has these feelings of embarrassment if they're human beings, and I accepted that embarrassment for myself, I still get embarrassed, but it's not a self-perpetuating problem. In the same way, when you're uncomfortable because you're receiving praise of any sort, all you have to do is take a deep breath and say thank you. You need do nothing else. You don't have to be defensive. You don't have to say how it's going to be better next time. You don't have to make it better next time. They're offering you a gift, and your only requirement is to accept the gift cleanly. Thank you. Period. Transaction finished. A second example is when you are stuck waiting in line for the DMV, for example, and you see a neighbor there. And so now the two of you are waiting for the DMV for another 20 minutes or so, and it's time to make some small talk. That's uncomfortable because usually when you're dealing with either strangers or acquaintances or not close friends, you're doing so with a functional kind of motivation. You're speaking at the grocery store about the groceries. You're speaking at Toastmasters about the Toastmasters. You're at work talking about work things. Now you're in a situation where, once again, you're both out of your environment. You're not quite sure what to say. You're uncomfortable about being uncomfortable. And you're starting to wonder if it even shows that Your cheeks are burning because you're embarrassed because you don't know what to say to the person. Again, relax. Take a deep breath. You need do nothing. Acknowledge the feeling that you're feeling uncomfortable again, that you're feeling like you don't know what to do. That's okay. You don't always have to know what to do or what to say. It's even okay to feel uncomfortable around other people. So give yourself permission just to feel that. Then, since you're stuck there anyway, bring up something that's interesting to you, and then listen. If the person responds back, then you can continue on that conversation. If not, you can bring up something else that's interesting to you, and then listen again. Finally, I had a friend over this weekend whose father died. And even though my dad died just a couple of years ago, it was still an uncomfortable situation. It's uncomfortable because death is so monumental. You want to say something that's healing or helpful or huge. Take a deep breath. Realize you don't have to say something that's going to make it feel all better for them. Nothing you say is going to make it feel all better for them. All you have to do is just to say, I'm sorry, and acknowledge their loss. And then once again, listen. If there's an awkward pause, allow it. This is a time for awkward pauses. It shows the person respect. You don't have to fill the gap. Anytime you're feeling tongue-tied, I think of it almost as stop, look, and listen. Stop. Stop. Take a deep breath. That cuts the pattern. Then look at the situation and rationalize it and realize what you do need to do and what you don't need to do. What you do need to do is accept your feelings and allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. What you don't need to do is feel more uptight that you are uncomfortable. And finally, listen. You're tongue-tied because it's an awkward situation. Listen to the other person and allow that awkwardness to perhaps gel into a moment of intimacy. Mr. Postmaster?
All right.